Welcome back. Today we're going to be previewing Group A from Copa America 2024. Featuring in Group A in Copa America 2024, we have Argentina, the favorites for the tournament, Canada, who could be a dark horse in the tournament, Chile, and Peru. Chile and Peru are very interesting teams. They obviously get automatic qualification as they are CONMEBOL teams, and Canada qualified through a playoff as they're a CONCACAF team, and only 6 CONCACAF teams qualified for Copa America this season. We're going to be breaking down each team, their key players, what their hopes and dreams would be for the tournament, what would be a bad tournament for them, and what kind of accomplishments can these players and teams be making within the tournament that would see either individual success or team success. And we'll be looking at Chile specifically for this and one key player that I will tell you about later. Without further ado, let's start off with just a general prediction for the group. Argentina are by far and away the favorites, and they'll probably win every single matchup. They might end up playing some youth players against Chile, Peru, or Canada in order just to get them game time. I don't see it necessarily against Canada because it is their first matchup, which I believe is on June 20th to kick off the tournament itself. So I don't think they'll play their youth there, but I do think maybe against Peru and Chile they'll play their youth. They're bringing 3 19-year-olds to this tournament. So far, at least that's on their early roster, and I think that they'll be playing them just to get them game time, get their feet wet, and just kind of see how the tournament will progress for them from there in hopes for future tournaments like the next World Cup or the next Copa America coming up in years to be. But then the group gets really interesting when we look at Canada, Chile, and Peru. They're all reasonably ranked similarly, and I think a big importance with this is all 3 of them can finish in 4th place, 3rd place, or 2nd place. I would love to see Canada get 2nd place. They do have good players in Jonathan David, Tajon Buchanan, Alphonso Davies, Eustachio, but it is important to note that this is their first time ever qualifying for Copa America. They just qualified recently for their 2nd ever World Cup. It didn't go too well. In that tournament, they tried to play it very, very expansive and very, very aggressive, and it didn't end up working out for them. Whereas Chile and Peru have competed in most of, if not all of the Copa Americas that have ever taken place. And Chile, for example, has Vargas, who is 14 goals has 14 goals throughout his Copa America career, which is only 3 behind the all-time lead. And I believe he's actually tied for 4th place or 3rd place on the list itself. So Chile has some very, very deep-rooted history within this tournament. And Peru as well have been within this tournament a lot. They kind of know how the tournament operates. They know what they're getting into, right? So I think that would give them the edge over the Canadians. However, the Canadians do have the out-and-out star power of Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David on the team. Jonathan David this year was absolutely lethal in League One, and Alphonso Davies has been absolutely brilliant for Bayern Munich yet again. Rapid down the wing. For Canada, he just played more of an offensive role than defensive like he does for Bayern Munich, which sometimes leads to a little bit hard-headedness from him where he tries to overcompensate for the fact that he's playing on the offensive side. But I'm going to go with Canada in 2nd place just due to the fact that they have superstar players, and the other teams may have had superstar players but do not have them anymore, or these superstar players are aging out. I'm then going to go with Chile finishing in 2nd. Just as their older players, their superstars are aging out, but they are still very viable players and will hopefully lead them to a 3rd place finish. And then I'll have Peru finishing out in 4th place, which is not a bad tournament for them here to say, but we'll get into that more later. But let's start off with previewing Argentina, what their hopes and dreams would be for this tournament, who are going to be the key players, and what can be achieved within this tournament for them. So Argentina will be relying on their old guard and Messi, the best player of all time, and Angel Di Maria, who are both 36 years of age, most likely entering into either their last or second last major international tournament for these 2 players. They'll then be infusing that with some youth players. Like I mentioned, they're bringing 3 19-year-olds, but they're also bringing Julian Alvarez, who is 24 years old, and other young players, as well as some middle-aged players. So it's a very balanced team, but they're definitely trying to incorporate a younger format into the team to allow them to progress for other future tournaments and, in a way, say bye to the old guard. Their kind of goals and dreams, the Argentinians for this tournament, would be obviously to win it. They're the favorites to win it, the betting favorites at least to win it. And with Brazil kind of being in a transitional period with Neymar not coming to the tournament, it's kind of set up the prime for them to win this tournament. Their goal for the group stage is to win all 3 matches and hopefully not concede too much. They're bringing back Emiliano Martinez, who, for lack of a better word, won them the World Cup with that massive leg save he had in the dying minutes of the normal time before extra time. So he's coming back. So again, they look to have a strong base to build up from him, win all 3 matches, and then go on and win the tournament. A bad tournament for them would be losing before the semifinals, so losing in the quarterfinals, losing and then not getting the bronze would be a bad tournament for them. But I would say anywhere from 1st to 3rd would be viewed as a good tournament. 1st place would be an excellent tournament. 2nd place would be a good tournament. 3rd place would be an okay to good tournament. But they'll be looking to rely on players like I mentioned, Emilio Martinez, McAllister of Liverpool, and Yel Di Maria in his last tournament, Enzo Fernandez coming in, Alejandro Garnacho for Manchester United, who ended the season very, very strongly. And I think a sneaky player who will be very good for him will be Lautaro Martinez. He plays for Inter Milan, and he's an absolutely amazing striker. And he's only 26 years old, which was actually surprising when I found that out. I thought he was way older than that. He feels like he's been around for such a long time because he's just been so good for so long. And of course, they'll be bringing the GOAT, Lionel Messi, coming in to win yet another Copa America and to win another big international tournament to further his claim for being the best player of all time. Because it's safe to say Pele's not close anymore. Ronaldo's not close anymore. He's now trying to separate from Maradona and other players in that generation. And I think he will definitely do it with this tournament. If not, he's already done it. The 3 19-year-olds they are bringing, like I mentioned previously, are Alejandro Garnacho, Corabani. He plays for Monza in Serie A. And Valentin Barco, who plays for Brighton in the Premier League. Look to see those players featured against Chile and Peru. Just I think with Canada, not that they're going to be respecting Canada that much, but they're going to be wanting to start off with a big, easy, clean victory. But look for them to play a very aggressive form of football in the group stage, and then try to rely on defense, and then a focal point of attack to win them throughout the knockout stage. Secondly, let's look at Canada. Their key players for this tournament are obviously Jonathan David and Alphonso Davies, and it will be supplemented by Ismail Akone, Eustachio, and Tajon Buchanan. Kyle Larin will most likely feature as well, but will be less of a focal point than Jonathan David up front. They're going to have a new coach with Jesse Marsh. He has experience coaching in the Premier League. He has American experience, so it's going to be a very, very interesting look to see what he does. I'm really excited for him as a Canadian fan myself. So we'll see what happens. But a key point to make is this is their first ever Copa America. So we'll see how they can manage that. And this is a young team. This is an inexperienced team. Will that be an issue for them? Most likely we're going to be looking to play exactly to play in the World Cup. Trying to be aggressive, trying to attack, not just accept losses, not just accept draws, but really going for it and really trying to win these matches outright. A great tournament for them. Just making it into the knockout stage would be fantastic for them. If they do finish in 2nd place in the knockout stage, I do believe they play Mexico, who I'm predicting to win their group. I do think they play Mexico in the next stage, in the knockout stage, if they do progress in 2nd place, which would be good for them because they've actually beat Mexico in Edmonton. It was in the winter time, so it's a little bit different, but they have beaten Mexico recently, so that would give them confidence to try and beat Mexico there. But I would say a good tournament for them, getting out of the group stage, a great tournament for them, winning a knockout match. Anything more than that is gravy on the top, but I think a bad tournament for them is finishing 4th place. It would be an okay tournament if they finish 3rd place. They wouldn't be excited or happy about it, so they want to get out of this group for sure. But a bad tournament would be finishing in 4th place. So unlike Argentina, they don't have that much pressure, where a bad tournament for Argentina is losing in the semifinals potentially, right? Whereas a bad tournament for Canada is just losing and getting 4th place in the group stage. Now if we look at Chile, we can talk about some individual brilliance. We have Vargas, who has 14 goals, 3 behind Zeno, who has 17. There's another player, but I do forget his name, who also is tied with 17. Can he get 3 goals here? Who knows? He's playing Peru and Canada. They'll most likely put him up front just to get those goals, and that'd be fantastic if he could do that. What an achievement for a Chilean-born player, and to show that Chile soccer is absolutely amazing. And it'd be fantastic for them. It'd be great for Chile. It'd be great for the Football Association. It'd be great for the footballing world to see that happen. They're going to be running a 4-2-3-1. So he'll be the focal point up top. They'll be looking to probably swing balls into him. Maybe he gets some garbage kind of rebound goals. Maybe he gets some headed goals. Maybe catch a long shot or two. But I don't think he'll be creating his offense. He'll need offense created for him. They'll have other key players in this who are reaching kind of their swan song, the end of the era kind of season. Alexis Sanchez, for example, Bravo, and Vidal. But they'll also be supplementing with some youth like the Argentinians are doing. Osorio is 20 years old, and he'll most likely start for this team, and I'm very excited to see kind of how he'll do. He's a very exciting young talent, and I think he'll do really, really well. But for Chile, again, kind of the same as Canada, a great tournament, getting out of the group stage and winning a knockout match. A good tournament is getting out of the group stage. A bad tournament for them is just not progressing out of the group stage. Like if they get third or fourth, it's terrible for them. Whereas Canada, if they get third, it's an okay tournament for them. Chile, if they get third place, it would be a terrible tournament for them. They have the experience of this tournament. They have goal-scoring threats in Vargas, who scores in this tournament. So a great tournament for them is getting out of it, winning a knockout stage, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. I'm just hoping Canada beats them out. And then finally, we'll look at Peru, who I do think are going to be finishing in fourth place. They may not want to be finishing in fourth place, but I think they will be. Most of their squad play in the Americas, either the MLS, or the Central American or Southern American leagues, which is not a bad thing. It's great leagues. And they do have decent players. They have Romero, the goalkeeper. They have Kisepe, who plays for UNAM in the Mexican league. And they have Ruiz, who plays for the Seattle Sounders and MLS. Those would be the kind of their focal point players. They'll also be trying to benefit from a solid squad. The squad itself is very solid itself. No player is a massive standout for them, which is also a strength, where they're kind of going to be playing in a system, playing in a unit. And I think that could help them. That could help them maybe get a draw against Canada, get a win against Canada, get a draw against Chile, get a win against Chile. Now, they're going to have to accept a loss against Argentina, like every team in this group. Their path to getting out of the group stage is drawing against Canada or Chile and beating Canada or Chile. So if they can draw one and win the other match, they'll have a strong shot at getting out of this group stage. But if they have a loss against either of them, I don't think there's any way they'll get out of the group stage. So a great turn for them, again, like Canada and Chile, getting out of the group stage. A fantastic turn for them, getting out of the group stage and winning a knockout stage match. An okay tournament, probably finishing third place. And again, a bad tournament is finishing fourth place. I do predict them finishing in fourth place. I just don't think they have the star power in order to progress out of this group. I don't think they have the star power to beat Chile or Canada. I think that if they did have that star power, they'd have a solid enough squad to actually really challenge to get second place and really challenge Mexico in the next round, or whoever they do play in the next round, to progress within the knockout stage. But I just don't see them having that star power. So again, I'll just recap. I see Argentina winning this group pretty easily. I'm wishing for Canada to finish in second place. I will say Chile finished third. They will most likely get second, but I'm going to say they finished third. And I have Peru finishing on in fourth place. Those are kind of my preview of the teams. That's kind of what I predict is going to be a good tournament for them. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you disagree with me. And let me know what you'd like to see in future videos. Have a good one.